How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Chainsaw Man episode review. Today's episode is episode 6, entitled Kill Denji. Yeah, that's right. It's entitled Kill Denji. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a double take. Yeah, it says Kill Denji right there. So before I go any further, please hit that like button, leave a comment down below. I would love to know what you think of the series so far. We're 6 episodes in, and I haven't read the manga, but seems to be going well in my opinion. Lives up to the hype. So also don't forget, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this one. Oh boy. So I almost did a play-by-play. Haha. We don't do those on Chainsaw Man reviews. It's Chainsaw has to tell you some things. So we find out what devil they're actually fighting. As remember, last week it looks like they were going through a loop. Arai, the a-hole, he was going down, but somehow he was coming down from up. And after some other checking, which I love how this loop worked. So when Aki went into a room, he said, the windows are connected to other rooms. And once he went through that window inside of another room, went through the door, he appeared across the hall from the other room. Apparently, if you try to go up from the ceiling, you come through the ground. I don't know. I kind of wonder how come they didn't try to go down through the ground. It looks so freaky to see, like, Denji looking up through the ceiling and power right there, and him looking up and seeing power over there. Again, it's just like an MC Escher painting. Very, very surreal, very mind-bending. But this episode dealt with, if it was a horror movie, right? It did a good job of that whole tension of like, we just got to kill this one guy, right? And then we can all go free. As the title of this episode tells you, the devil wants to make a contract with them. If you kill Denji and feed it to them, or actually they said feed me Denji. It said you can even kill him, but feed me Denji. And then I'll let you all go. To which I thought the same thing Denji thought. I said, well, it's not like it would actually let you go once you do it, right? And Himino tells us, actually, contracts are a very serious binding thing when it comes to devils. So if either side says, I'm going to make a contract with you, and the contract is binding, everybody's like, okay, cool, we'll do this. Whichever side doesn't come through instantly dies. So the fact that that devil was trying to make a contract with them is very serious. Now, what devil is it? It is the Eternity Devil, which we see an infinity symbol with eyes and a mouth. We see it. The others don't, but we see that. And yeah, it's very freaky. And how does this thing end up talking to them? Well, Denji's hilarious. This fool goes to sleep. He says, all right, that means since it's a loop, we have time to go to sleep. And they figured out that, Aki figured out, all the clocks in all the rooms stay on 8:18. So it seems like wherever they are, time is not moving. No one's going to come for them. And Denji goes, well, as Arai goes, we're not going to figure out how to get out of here. And Denji's like, or we might figure out how to get out. So until then, I'm going to take a nap. I should thank this devil for the nap. And dude just literally just takes his ass to sleep. Unbelievable. I like how calm he is. There is some layers to Denji, and I'll get to that in a moment. But one of the interesting things here, we find out that Himino is the reason why Aki smokes, because he always said, it stunts your growth, messes with your bones, and her whole deal is, well, devil hunters tend to die young anyway, so who gives a shit? Go ahead and smoke. As a matter of fact, she was so calm throughout this whole entire situation because she was able to depend on Aki. And we do get another flashback into their cooperative relationship, such as her last partner's girlfriend slapped her on the street, and he was like, what the hell was up with that? Well, she's used to it, and she says it comes along with it. They can't hit the devil that actually did it, so they hit her. And he stormed off and put gum on the lady's thing, because he said, you don't have to tolerate that. Don't take that. And that's when she started getting close to him, right? And she was there to convince him to smoke. He smokes the same brand as she does. And the cool thing about that is that Denji paid attention. He says, I don't know if he said Aki, but I think he said Haiwa-kun. But, Aki smokes the same brand. He pays attention. For a dumbass, he pays attention. We do have power. Power just is interesting. Power, I don't know if... It's really hard to nail down this character, right? Because while... is her name Koboni? Kobeni. While Kobeni... Her name is Convenience Store. Wow. While Kobeni is literally just having a breakdown and freaking out because when Arai tries to tell you have stuff to live for, don't give up. You're doing this so you can get your brother through college. I had no choice. I wanted to go to college, but because he's gifted, my parents want him to go to college. So it's either I be a sex worker or I do this. And it's just wow. And she's freaking out. She's crying. And Power is laughing at her. Actively laughing at her. And Hamino once again has to tell her, hey, the more you fear, the more power you give to devils. So she got to remain calm. She even had her do like a peace sign when she was starting to freak out about the loop earlier. And once Denji wakes up, all hell's breaking loose. Hamino's on her last cigarette. Aki has not slowed down. Arai's having a nervous breakdown. She had to knock out Kobeni. Jeez, Shane. And she tried to drink out of a toilet. Now here's when things get crazy. When the contract was offered by the devil, by the Eternity Devil, because Aki says, by the way, that devil has seemed to gotten larger, the one that you guys killed earlier, which I find it funny that Denji was like, maybe it's because we're in the loop because of the devil that Power killed. Power should say, well, you told me to do it. So Power's traits are a gluttonous child, because they did find food that was left there from, I guess, the people that were in the hotel but that ran away. She ate all the food, which Kobeni was gonna try to stab her. Where Arai's like, "Hey, don't do it. We're not gonna do it, right? Oh, you're a spy." And we get the joke "spicy" from Power, but yeah, Power's just ridiculous. But she does have one good trait, and I'll get to that in a second. So we get to the point where Kobeni's like, "Yeah, why don't we Denji, just kill yourself. Do it for us." And she comes at him with a knife. Aki kicks the knife. And Henemo, whatever. She punches her to knock her down. I thought she was knocked out, but she just on the floor with the drool and all that stuff. And it was because, remember when I mentioned earlier about her talking about he's a spy? Why don't we just get rid of, stab her? She's the reason for all this. Those two are such weak links. They're enabling all of this stuff, because once she starts freaking out, the nasty mass that the Eternity Devil has become, like a mass of hands, teeth, and eyes. And apparently it says that you won't be able to kill me because you don't know where my heart is. You're just in my stomach. And we get and we see like veins. So apparently the entire hospital, the entire hotel, or wherever this infinity space is this thing's body. And when the rooms are shifting, and the tension I'm speaking of is when Kobeni literally, because remember it's in a loop, they were across from each other when the Eternity Devil shifted the entire place, tilted the floor, made standing this way mean being this way, and she tried to stab him because apparently there's the sword that Aki has, the contract he has with it takes years off his life, and he mentioned it 3 times. The first time he said, well, I can use the sword, and she says, and she tells Denji, she's like, if he tries to use that sword, I'm sorry, but you're gonna get killed. You're gonna die. Okay. And when he finally says, all right, I'm gonna use it, she used her ghost arm to restrain him. And she's like, I can't do that. That's when she reveals all of this. And as Kobeni tries to stab him, Aki's able to move enough, and he takes the full-on stab. Full-on stab. And everyone's shook, save for Denji. Because Denji just looks annoyed. He's been looking annoyed this whole entire time with Kobeni, like, why won't you just die? Just go ahead and just die and save us. And Arai going, why don't we just kill him? And Aki says, his whole mission is to kill the gun devil. That's the reason why Himono is like, no, he has stuff that he wants to do. He has a goal. He's like, I cannot beat the gun devil by myself. I need people like Denji who are totally insane to help me. In the flashback, Himono, she even said, my master sensei says that devils don't fear strong or powerful devil hunters. They fear ones that are unhinged. And that makes a lot of sense, right? You can fight a person who's strong all day. You can technically get stronger if you just make enough people fear you. But when you get someone that's unhinged like Denji, remember Denji was fighting with one arm, his eyes bulging out, which started to make the Leech Devil. Now it made the Leech Devil go crazy. The fact that when he was fighting the Bat Devil started to fear him. Like, this dude is insane. That makes sense. And Denji goes, you know what? Screw it. It's time to eat, whatever. Because the used to be hallway, there's now a shaft going into the infinite mouth. It opens a mouth, there's another mouth, into the Eternity Devil. He's gonna jump in, and Kobeni's bitch ass is going, thank goodness. And he's like, but I'm not gonna go down smooth. And if I manage to kill, and he does say this fucking devil, I still expect to get that kiss. And it's funny because he made a big stink, a semi big stink about Himono giving her cigarette to Aki. He's like, hey, that's an indirect kiss, no fair. And Aki's like, shut up. Which, I'm gonna say this. Try not to spoil anything for those who don't know the manga, but I really feel like Aki and Himono, I don't know if people ship them, but it would make sense if they were shipped together. Seems like the type of senpai kohai relationship. That's just me. Especially when Kobeni she started freaking out before Denji said this. Like, it's not my fault. If you just let it eat you, it'd all be over. He's been annoyed every time someone says this. And from the get-go, Aki's like, no, obviously that's what it wants, so I'm not going to give it what it wants. And Denji's just like, yeah, I'm going to kill it with my chainsaws. You got to remember that others have not seen him at work. Only Power has. I don't know if Aki has. I actually don't know if Aki has seen him at work, but I'm going to get with my chainsaws. They're like, your chainsaws? They're like, obviously he's afraid of me, right? Or it's afraid of me. It told you all to kill me. And when Himono was using the ghost hand, and the ghost hand has a mouth in it, so it was ripping chunks of flesh out of it. He said it was in pain, and it was writhing in pain. Denji, for as childish as his motivations are, maybe it's just because he was never actually, I don't know, doesn't seem like he's ever been to school, doesn't feel like he's ever been around other people, doesn't feel like he's ever had real human interactions where people actually care about him, and he doesn't understand moeways and folkways and stuff like that. But he has this natural ability to pay attention to these things. Like, he was able to take a nap. Even though they're all starting to starve, they don't know how long they've been in there, he's able to assess, yeah, when you hurt this thing, it was in a lot of pain. It obviously doesn't want to deal with me, so I'm gonna go and do this. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna hurt it so much. I'm gonna make it want to kill itself. And he just jumps down, and the ending song 6, actually ties into all that. We see the various manga panels of flashbacks of things in the past. We also see them looking down at this MC Escher painting on top. This manga panels within the MC Escher newly drawn of him just going down to tear open this thing, which is funny. Power also said what he said was his plan is very devilish indeed. And he says, I don't want, he's like, he calls Aki an asshole because he's like, I don't ever want to owe anybody anything ever again. I never asked you to do that. So once I do this, we are even. We're getting some layers to this guy. It's more than just carnal pleasures that he never thought he would get because he was a destitute loser who had to sell an eye and sell a testicle. No, it's, I don't ever want to owe about anybody anything ever again because that's how I got in this situation to begin with. That's how he is where he is right now. On top of that, I think him and Aki are getting closer because regardless of Aki saying, well, I just need him to kill the thing that, killed my family, he still took a blade for him. That's some cool shit, in my opinion. But yeah, the entire layers of the fact and Himono, she got to her breaking point because when he was going to use that sword, she doesn't want to lose any more partners. When she was about to use that sword, she was willing to be like, nah, Denji, I gotta let you die because I can't do this. And when he was stabbed, he's bleeding out. She calls him over and over again, Aki-chan, Aki-chan, what are we supposed to do? I love that Denji took initiative and said, Power, you're the blood fiend, right? Can you stop him from bleeding out? She controls her blood fantastically, but she has difficulty and challenges with others. But she's gonna do it because it would be not in her best interest to have to find another cook if Top Knot dies, which that's the Tsundere in her. I like that this episode was just contained. Like literally, you all are stuck here. Now you have this Sophie's choice, right? All right, kill this comrade. Prove that you don't care, right? He's he's actually half human, half devil, or kind of like a fiend, but not really. You don't care about him, right? Get rid of him. But then you have the person who's in charge going, no. That's not how we operate. I'm not giving that thing what it wants. On top of that, I need him to achieve my goals. I'm just saying this was a really good. What was the last week's episode was the living together and the vouching for Denji and the boob thing isn't enough, right? This, in my opinion, is legitimately better than last week's. Week before was the fight. The animation for those fights are really good. So I won't say this is I would say this is on par with those really good fight scenes that we get, those really good action scenes. This was so psychological, and I feel bad. I don't want to say I feel bad for Kobeni. Like it makes me annoyed when you get these characters that are just game over, man, game over, and it's like, calm your ass down, think for a second. And we do get more comedy from Power. She seems to be the comedy relief along with Denji at some point at this point, because she's like, all right, I'll kill him if it gets us out, but devils cannot make contracts with fiends, so you kill it is not obligated to let us all leave. And one of the funniest things was this, when she's like, okay, and he's like, want to wrestle to pass the time? He's like, hell no, you're going to try to kill me, right? That relationship is just, I'm already seeing how Aki is warming up to Denji, and I'm already seeing how Denji is more than just this perverted child. He's very attentive when it comes to battle and stuff like that. He has his own, like, what's what I'm looking for. Like, I don't want to say it's a motivation. It's like, I don't want to owe anybody anything else. I want to live free, and I want to do the things I never thought in my life I would do. So if being in this shitty job and listening to you is the only way to do it, fine. But I'm not going to buy anything. And I deeply appreciate that. I don't usually give these rates, scores sometimes, because they build off of one another, but this is actually one of the better episodes. This definitely gets a 5 out of 5, and I can guarantee that next week's episode will have built up even more. It will be made even better because of how great this is. So I'm on record of giving this a 5 out of 5 because of those character interactions. I would love to be able to write a scene like this that has, like, you have, was it 6 characters? Power was already unhinged. That was one of the funny things, because she says, oh yeah, this is what's going on with everybody. By the way, Power's talking about being prime minister so she can torture humans by making the tax rates go up 100%. So, and then she's like, oh no, she's always like that. So you have the unhinged character that's always unhinged already. You have the 2 weak links that are getting unhinged. You have the leader that is remaining stalwart to what he's not going to change. You have Himona, who's, as long as he's okay, she's okay. But when he gets hurt, or when he's thinking about killing himself, essentially, she breaks down. And then you have Denji, who literally is a constant. Granted, Aki too is a constant, but he feels that pressure. And Denji is just like, if I were Denji in this situation, I would definitely have been like, yeah, I'm going to go down and kill it. And I'm going to still have to work with you guys, but I'm going to let you all know. I want you to know that I saved your lives, and you can go F yourself. That's how I would. If Chainsaw Man would have been, as soon as I break out of Eternity Devil, which I hope that's how he wins. I hope to see him just like bursting out of eternity from out of nowhere. I hope the chainsaws go away and he just flips him the bird. That's what I want. But please, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comment section down below. What do you think of the series so far? There's 6 episodes in. I'm going to assume they're going to stop at 10 or 12. You know, since we got it, that's usually how they break things up. But this Eternity Devil stuff, man, it's insane. Insane. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Be notified of more videos just like this. Stay tuned if you're a fan of Pokemon. I got something special coming Friday. So, as always, thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about the shows that make me give myself funny nicknames. At least I'm enjoying myself. I really, really do hope you're enjoying yourself. Please be good, be blessed, wash those hands, be safe out there. The flu season and the big C is starting to ramp up. So just take care of yourself, please, legitimately. I got some friends that have come down being ill. So I'm asking you all, take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, please do not be a jerk. And above all things, realize that you are not alone. There's someone out there who deeply cares about you. Someone who would rather talk to you today than to mourn you tomorrow. All right? And as always, my social medias are down in the description below. Hit me up. I'm willing to talk about anime, video games. You know what? Even if you don't want to talk about anime and video game, we can talk about whatever. All right. So with that, you guys, Chainsaw Man, we'll see you guys next time.